Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Total Nonstop Racing League, live from North Wilkesboro Speedway. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Joe. I'm Bob, and Joe, tonight we have a fun one for you. Smaller field here this evening. Looks like only 10 cars here for TNR. So that means I will be actually out there on the track racing tonight. You'll be seeing my view here, and this should certainly be an interesting one for all involved.
Yeah, hopefully we'll always see your view forward.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see that. I am going to skip qualifying just so we can actually get the race broadcasted in one way or another. But so far, fastest on the board is this guy, the 27 machine of Anthony DeBarro. He put a lap time of 19.33 seconds over Philip Scott in second at a 19.42, and John Canizaro Jr. at a 19.45. There are the two drivers right there.
Now try and get out of the way.
Currently paused, or currently tied rather, for the lead in the points between DeBarro and Canizaro. Philip Scott looking to play spoiler here this evening. This should certainly be a fun one. Only 30 seconds left here in qualifying. And then we'll see what this track is going to do for us once we get racing.
You said this is a bit of a tricky one?
It is a very difficult track, as we see Philip Scott there trying to get down onto pit road. 35 mile an hour pit road. And there really is not a whole lot of entry to get onto pit road there. It's very easy to either miss pit road, speed on pit road, or nail those tires at the very beginning of pit road. So it's going to be tough. Plus the track downhill into turn 1, uphill into turn 3. And with the amount of power these cars have, it's so easy to spin out under braking or to spin out under throttle exiting the corner.
So you got it coming and going.
Oh, yeah. Out of both ends here at this track, that is for sure. So we're going to switch over from qualifying to the race. And we'll see how this one looks for us here tonight. We're going to throw this top scroll on for the screen for the race. But as we say that, let's take a look here at the starting lineup for tonight's race. On pole will be the number 27 machine of Anthony DeBarro, with John Canizaro Jr. in second. Philip Scott, Jamar Dumas, row number 2. Row number 3 has Ace House and Jason Schue. Jonathan Gaston, John Canizaro Sr. in row 4. Ross Stevens and me in row 5, with Garrett Gleason rounding out our 11-car field for tonight. As I'm going to jump out here, get myself in for the race.
Careful about wheel spin on the start.
There are 3 additional sets of tyres during this race. Have a good race.
We'll take a look here. We'll keep the
line up on the outside. The estimated strength of field
keep the gap going here.
451. Pit road is closed.
Taking the top lane here to start.
Tight field today. Look for opportunities.
I forgot that was even a rule.
Catch up 55 car.
Biggest issue for me, though, as you can see, is this blocks my mirror. So I'm probably not going to have the crawl going here. That'll be slightly easier for everyone to see. Johnny Williams over on YouTube says, "Hello all, good luck tonight." Johnny, hope you're doing well. Miss you out here.
1 left to green.
Getting a real first-person view this race.
Yeah, and you're going to be able to see, all the interesting things that go on in these races.
Stay focused.
150 laps, pace car getting ready to pull in. Watch for wheel spin.
The pace car is in. Green flag, green flag.
And we're off.
It's going to be interesting to see the different lines people use. Don't want to have people spin tires or anything like that coming out of the corner. It's 150 laps.
26.057.
Right now, my goal is just to kind of hang with everyone, not push too hard.
Car outside. Stay low.
Speaking of pushing too hard, DeBarro take a pretty quick lead up in the front with Cannizzaro right on his tail and Scott right behind him. DeBarro, maybe after last week, looking to make a statement and just jump out and get away, hoping maybe not to have any issues again. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The group of admins before the race today did announce a penalty for Cannizzaro. Cannizzaro, a 25-point penalty. Both he and DeBarro on probation for the rest of the season. Only 2 races.
Car outside. Keep low. 20.187. The car in P2 just set the fastest lap. 19.619. Keep
So
low.
we'll take 7th. And we'll set our sights now on Jonathan Gaston next in line. But as you can see here, I'm actually not even getting to full throttle.
Yeah, I can hear it.
And if I am, it's for a split second.
.888. That was your fastest lap of the session. The leader just did a 19.827.
You're catching up.
I am, but I'm afraid I might actually be cooking the tires a little too much on exit and through the corner.
19.9.
Well, so in a perfect world, what are we looking here? Time to pit.
I can do about 98 more laps.
So 1.
Yes. Looking like 1 pit stop right around lap 100.
20.091.
Which could be interesting. We might actually see people pit sooner for tires, let alone rather than fuel.
20.075.
But I guarantee you, someone watching the stream right now is like, "No, don't run that line. What are you doing? You're slowing
Leave
down."
it in the comments.
Yeah. Tell me. Please tell me what I'm doing wrong. Teach me.
20.16.
So 10 laps into this one. You can just hear how pensive the I get on throttle out of these corners.
Yeah.
Because they are sketchy. I did not adjust my steering ratio or my brake bias. More brake bias in the front makes you more stable under braking, but takes longer to slow down. More rear brake bias makes it easier to turn, but also far less stable under braking. Oh. House gets a little loose, goes up towards the wall. Gaston trying to take a peek down low, can't quite get to it.
20.2.
You're right up in there in the mix.
Nothing like having an in-race reporter just watching. And why not join the fight?
Yeah, why not? Get up in there. Meanwhile, up in the front, not much has changed. Times between 1, 2, and 3 have pretty much stayed the same. Maybe 0.03 seconds, give or take, have changed. It seems like their lines are pretty much set. No one's trying to make moves. Dumas is starting to fall behind a little bit, and then you can see House, Gaston, and Bob are the 5, 6, and 7.
And this actually is a fairly decent battle. Gaston trying to make his move, trying to time it out properly. House doing a good job getting out of the corner so Gaston can't quite get in. But there he goes. He just clips the wall with that right rear ever so slightly. That's going to let Gaston get a side by side.
I wonder if he's
not able to close the door yet. Oh, he's going to push up.
That might be it.
And we'll see if we can capitalize too, even though I did just spin the tires up, so I'm not going to have a lot of grip here.
20.465.
But if I can kind of stick my nose there. This could get interesting here.
It looks
So
like
move.
House likes to take his line a little high.
20.127. 20.725.
As I say that, DeBarro's starting to drive away. Now a second in front of Scott and almost 0.8 seconds in front of Cannizzaro. So DeBarro really looking to make moves.
20.36.
Backed out a little too early there. God, I can hear my right front chittering against the ground.
I'm sure it's fine.
Gonna have 0 turn after this.
20.635.
Here we see Bob now doing what Gaston was doing, just trying to get in on the inside over there.
And House is smart. He's saying, you know what? If you're going to go to the inside of me, I'm going to make it tough on you. I'm going to make you run your line. I'm going to run my line. Really making me work for the position.
20.52.
Speaking of, we now have a battle for second.
20.645.
As Scott and Cannizzaro are trading back and forth. DeBarro has all but driven away.
The leader to consider
Almost 2 seconds ahead.
20.302.
Sounds like
Cannizzaro was able to fight off Scott.
I was going to say,
for
sounds
now.
like a pretty good fight there. Oh boy, don't do that. Back end got a little spin happy. It's races like these that I wish I had a full like racing seat and not just an office chair.
Yeah.
Because I can already feel my lower back being like, this wasn't a good idea.
20.68.
My racing sim is currently basically just plywood with a piece of leather on it, so.
Outside.
Thanks, Next Level Racing.
Go low. Still there. Outside is clear.
All right, we got
you
around
have-
this.
Yeah, you've made it past.
20.752.
You are about 2.5 seconds behind Gaston. About 11 from DeBarro, who is just cooking.
You're welcome.
So if that's the case, he's just about half a lap ahead of me. Or behind me, depending on your perspective of things.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
20.6
So right now, taking a look, I have a fuel calculator up on my side of things. Right now, I can do, if we use my average fuel usage for the last 10 laps,
That car is a lap down.
I can do another 75 laps,
20.624.
which will bring me in about what? Lap 105. I could try to short pit and do a longer second stint, but I don't know if my tires will be too happy doing a long stint like that.
20.927.
You know, it'd be really cool if I stopped spinning my tires out of the corner.
That would probably be a wise decision.
20.78.
But hey, we're not here for that.
And I know for a fact the Ross Chastain video game line that we saw at Martinsville in real life, that does work here at North Wilkesboro.
20.736.
So if need be,
You can send it.
I can Ross Chastain it.
That's
Outside. Clear.
Thank you to Ross for letting me go.
20.793.
This time Ross Stevens. But Joe, how's the front of the pack look?
roughly the same. DeBarro is now about 3 seconds ahead. Cannizzaro and Scott are still neck and neck. Scott's just a hair behind. Cannizzaro's been able to hold off, which is surprising from him. Usually he cooks his tires a little bit and starts to slow down, but so far so good.
In-race report brought to you by our friends at White House Station Hot Sauce Company. NJSauce.com.
Good stuff.
Sorry, Garrett. Oh, my bad. I was trying to ease off, so I have to ease off a little bit. So hope you're okay.
20.8.
That's okay. Name's somewhat aerodynamic.
Looks like a couple, looks like the 89 blinked in and out a little bit there, but he's back up and running. Ace House still has not really left me. He's been about 2.5 seconds from me for the last while.
He's been holding on.
Gaston gets around Cannizzaro Sr.
.834.
There's a wall there.
You've got wheel damage. Looks like one of your wheels is out of
Oh,
alignment.
great.
You'll have less grip
Oh,
out
you got
there.
some wheel damage.
21.121.
Well, that's not what we were hoping for here.
No, definitely not. Although
How
the
much
car
damage are we
feels
looking?
fine. Car
I was
feels
gonna
fine. My wheel is straight.
Maybe it was just emotional damage.
20.
Well, I mean, it's my car. Of course it's going to have emotional damage. You would too if you know you're never going to be able to do anything aside from, like, fifth.
20.709.
Fifth, Bob. That's funny. I'll be excited if I ever see single digits. Johnny Williams. I'll find out in 4 months if I'm cancer-free. Well, hopefully you are, my friend.
That is for sure.
All right, let's see what we got going on. DeBarro now almost 4 seconds ahead.
21.187.
It's looking like he's starting to come up on Jason Schue and company.
Oh, great. So he's like really close to me, isn't he?
Switch to initials real quick. You're exiting the turn. He's about halfway through. He's there.
21.202.
Oh, yeah, there he is. He just showed up on my relative. Love that. You can already start playing the Jaws theme.
Man, if we had that as a...
20.947.
Let's check the rest of the track here, see what's going on. Scott and Cannizzaro Jr. are still exactly where they left off, just Scott staring in front of him, waiting maybe for him to make a mistake, maybe for him to wear down his tires, but we'll see what happens there. We have Dumas just passing Gleason. Gleason just moving out of the way. But really, him kind of all by himself, about 2.5 seconds in front of Gaston. No one really near him. He's just kind of doing his own thing. You are about 6 seconds behind Gaston. And then everyone else is a lap down. So, you're next.
Great. A yellow right about now would be phenomenal for me.
Yeah, he's just entering the turn. He's gonna catch you.
Well, that's why if a yellow were to come out now, I'd be pretty happy about that. We'd pit. We'd be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel.
Yep.
We have some folks out on track with some really awful tires.
Yeah, I'm surprised with how much of a pain this track is. I'm surprised there hasn't been more slipping and sliding. Everyone has kind of been minding their P's and Q's.
And I think that's just a testament to, how clean and how good these drivers are. As Philip Scott heads down pit road.
That usually means
the car in front is pitting.
Everyone else is going to start the process.
That car is a lap down. 21.101.
Do I do something dumb and stay out as long as I can?
Always.
Because I can still do another 55 laps.
Go to the bottom.
Well, the mind is willing.
But the tires are soft and fleshy.
21.11. You're in fifth.
Oh boy. Got a little back end happy again.
DeBarro. No, DeBarro is not.
21.076.
No, he's still another 2 seconds behind me.
The leader just did a 20.897.
He's gonna pit. I don't think he is.
Go to the bottom.
Nope.
21.134.
He is on your tail.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that. I like the fact I'm in P5, but...
Yeah, he just entered the turn, and you are...
They're not F5.
Yeah.
21.
Looks like Cannizzaro stayed out.
Outside. Clear.
So I think really only Philip Scott did it.
Yeah, I'm really interested. Oh, Garrett's heading down pit road. Yeah, I'm real interested to see what happens, because here comes Dumas as well.
Mm-hmm.
The car in front is pitting.
Yep. Nope, the ball is just running a real tight inside line. It looks like he's going to be entering the pits, but he's really just skimming that barricade.
Sorry about that. All good, I saw you.
I'm kind of holding out for hope for a yellow.
Well, we almost just had one as Stevens is trying to keep up with Navarro.
21.187. You're in fourth
He
position.
almost tapped. Well, he went up and tapped the wall. Nothing crazy, but they're racing. Stevens is racing hard to not be
trouble.
And there it goes.
Sorry about that.
A little bit of a tap.
No caution. Come on.
21.3.
Give me my yellow.
No caution.
Slow car ahead. The leader just did a 21.2.
How was that not a yellow?
They were off the racing surface, I guess.
Yeah, they. Oh no, they were on the races here. I watched it. That was 100% supposed to be a yellow. It was Stevens went and basically tapped the front corner of Navarro, and they both spun off into the grass.
You're good, bud. I was taking it anyways.
Well,
So
somehow
with
that saved
that-
me from getting lapped for now.
21.3.
Yeah, with that, Canonzaro has now taken the lead and is about 4 seconds in front of Navarro.
You know why? I see the skid marks in the grass. They made contact on track, but immediately spun out to the inside or to the infield.
21.249.
And Navarro now entering the pits. So the good news is you don't have to worry about Navarro lapping you. The bad news is that Canonzaro is behind you.
Well, Philip Scott just passed me for position, so there goes my hopes of leading a lap.
21.554.
I mean, if I can milk these tires for as long as I can, why not, right?
Yeah, well, I mean,
21.
What could go wrong?
You're back in fourth position.
You're safe this time, Bob. I'm sitting this time.
Did you just call out that you're safe this time? Oop. As you tap the wall. I guess safe is a relative term, right?
The leader's pitting now.
I think safe is a relative term here.
21.546.
There goes Canonzaro pitting.
You're losing on the car in front. The gap is 3.9 seconds. The leader is running.
Yeah, I have
26.788.
0 turn right now.
You tapped that wall a couple times, huh?
21.362.
Plus
Honestly,
tires.
it's nothing to do. It's more so tires than damage.
Yeah. Well, do I have the fancy pit map that you usually have? Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if you're the only one left that hasn't pit.
Gaston is the only one aside from me.
21.259.
Actually, no, there's a few. Ace,
Car
Schue.
72 is now leading. You're now in third.
So, yeah, Gaston, you, House, and Schue.
21.272.
Pretty decent company, I'd say.
Inside.
Yeah, now that I'm all by myself.
21.286.
Took me a
Good
while to
battle.
find the button.
Good battle there between Navarro, Canonzaro, and House right now. I can see their relative all fairly similar to me.
They are under a blanket.
21.366.
It was one of those interesting. Scott pitted early and ends up 11 seconds ahead.
21.
Yeah, that just shows how powerful the undercut can be.
It still makes no sense to me. Everyone's pitching at the same time.
The gap is
How did that happen?
9.2 seconds. .234.
Looks like Scott is about to pass Gaston. Let's see what's going on in the front.
Car inside.
So Gaston's not going to make it easy.
God, they have so much better turn in the corner than I do.
Well, they have very, very fresh tires.
Yes.
I think Cannizzaro has like 7-lap tires. Yeah. All right, and there you have it. Scott has made it around Gaston.
21.
All right, I'm gonna pit this time.
Yeah, you want to turn again?
Yeah. 23 pitting in.
Pit box in 5. Okay, we're halfway to the finish. 3, 1. Right here. All the damage is repairable.
All right, 24 seconds of damage isn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah, for all the taps and them yelling about tires, 24 seconds is like a guy with a hammer.
Pitting out.
.47 pitting.
All right, looks like you are not alone. Gaston pit, Cannizzaro senior pit. And now, so we are back. The first 3 that started the race are currently in opposite order. Scott is in number 1. Cannizzaro is still sitting in number 2. DeBarro sitting in number 3. And Cannizzaro and DeBarro have some time to make up with 6.66 and 7.78 seconds respectively.
Hit the inside, Bob.
Now we do know that DeBarro was cooking the race earlier.
Clear outside if you want it.
We'll see if he could make up that time
20.158
with some traffic in front of him.
All right, let's see now if I can drive away from Phillip. Keep me 1 lap down.
20.028.
Are you 7? Oh, he's right behind you.
Yeah, but I passed him already, so we'll see. Well, if I keep running a line like that, he's going to get me.
19.952.
Steven's entering the pits. Oh, he crashed and entered the pits. I think he tapped the wall again and
The leader is coming
decided
up
to
on
just
you.
jump to
They're
the
not
pits.
F5. 20.082.
Looks like Gleason has retired for the evening.
Moved my
We'll
brake
see if
bias
Steven-
back.
Gone?
I moved my brake bias back to help me with turning,
20.327.
so we'll see. That might be a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Really
let's see
only
what
one
my
way to find out,
tire,
right?
my tire health. You know what? Tires were not nearly as bad as I thought they would be.
20.089.
The right side, 75%. For the front, 84% for the rear.
Didn't you just change those?
Well, that was
Oh, that was
Well,
the last set?
that's the last set.
I was gonna
You
say.
don't get current tires.
20.511.
Yeah, I didn't think. Alright, let's see what's going on. Cannizzaro and DeBarro have made up some time. Actually, almost half. Cannizzaro now 3.5 seconds behind. Tabaro 5.5 seconds. Dumas still
20.372.
on the lead lap, 13 and change behind Scott.
You're gaining on the car in front. The gap is 8.5 seconds. .309.
See if I can scoot down and see what's going on with you. You are 32 seconds behind.
That tracks.
20.208.
If you like what you're seeing, make sure to follow our channel. You can like us on, like the stream on YouTube, follow us on Twitch, subscribe to us here on YouTube.
Check out the website, tabletoptrio.com.
Yes.
We will be returning to our Wednesdays soon.
Very excited for that.
But right here we are on race 18 of 19 here at Total Nonstop Racing.
Cannot believe only one more race left.
Yeah. It's been a crazy season. This has been a fantastic race. You know, we talked about how kind of crazy this track is and how difficult these things could be. And we haven't even had a yellow. It's
Right?
solid racing out here. As it looks like.
Slow car down low.
I'm gonna say in the next 7 or 8 laps, we might actually see some competition for first.
20.502. The car
That
behind
could be
is
interesting.
Yep, I'm gonna get a pop up the battle box, see what's going on.
Meanwhile, I just got around Jason's shoe. So I'm back in 6th, which is where I was before pit cycle started.
.777.
You know, I gotta say, I'm proud of myself for opening my water before I started the race.
It's a little thing, really.
20.756.
Because that would have not been ideal doing that during a race.
20.702. .709.
Cannizzaro has caught up to Scott.
Oh yeah, look at that. I can see that in my relative.
With 1 lap before I said it, so we're getting pretty good at this.
21.011.
It's like you've been doing this for a little while now.
I know, it's wild. It's like when you do something, you learn. It's just crazy.
.738. The lead is pitting now.
Well, Philip Scott making it a 2-stop race.
Interesting. I wonder if the tires,
20.594.
the gain is that much. I don't think anybody else is going to pit again.
No, and I
they
mean,
really have to.
and I mean, you said it with Phillip. He pitted early. He had an 11-second lead.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, granted, he was helped by DeBarro getting into an incident and
Yeah.
everyone else heading down pit road, but I mean, I still think that could work.
Yeah, I mean, crazier things have happened, right?
21.001.
Now, do I do the
found
same or
lap
no?
time button. Well, you just changed your time. You're like,
20.
I did.
708.
you know, I think we shoot back. Where's that button? You're making me click buttons I normally don't click. Scott pitted at lap 51 for a new set of everything, and then 49 laps pitted again.
20.976.
You pitted on lap 75. However, you do not hold the record, as Schue pitted on lap 91.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he got his money's worth for that tire.
Well, and honestly, part of me, hearing that, part of me thinks, all right, maybe I do want to come down and pit, have fresher tires, and try to pick up on that gap that he had, because he's not going to need to pit again. Technically, I won't either. I can do another 49 laps.
20.912.
28 pitting.
All right, Jamar's heading down pit road.
I was going to say 28.
pitting.
Inside. Clear.
Okay, so now we have got a lap behind, right on DeBarro. DeBarro 2.5 seconds behind Cannizzaro.
The car in front is pitting.
I gotta say, Scott is able to move pretty freely with that new fresh tires.
Yeah, that just kind of adds to why I think it might be a good idea for me to pit now. Even though it's a lap difference.
Yeah.
But I don't need to. That's the other issue.
Yeah.
Also, looking at the track map, it's kind of funny. I'm all by myself. Everyone is on the opposite side of the racetrack.
Yeah. Well, not for long. Cannizzaro is, he's making moves on you.
Oh yeah, he's schmoving.
So DeBarro, excuse me, you could really see into the turns how slow DeBarro has to slow down, and Dumas just flew by. Same with Schue, because Schue's got fresher tires as well. So you could really see the difference in old tires versus new tires in these turns.
.864.
As now DeBarro's looking like he's starting to lose time on Cannizzaro. What is the lap difference between those two? Cannizaro's tires are from lap 46 and DeBarro's are from lap 49. So really about the same.
Yeah. Yeah, because a couple of laps here and there aren't really going to make much of a difference here.
Yeah.
.101.
God, I still am, you know what? I think I'm just going to stay out. I'm going to risk it. I can make it the rest of the way.
20.7.
And I'm just going to have to block and keep people behind me.
It's going to be interesting because I think you're going to have to block Cannizzaro, which might give an opening to DeBarro.
Okay, maybe I don't want to affect the championship.
$20.879.
It looks like DeBarro is pitting, which is going to make things interesting. I was looking at the lap counter, and it looked like every single lap Cannizzaro was in the green on DeBarro. So this does make sense for DeBarro. He wasn't going to be able to catch him with the tires he had. Now the question is Cannizzaro going to answer? In which case, that puts Scott right back up to the front. Which is interesting, as, like we said in the beginning, Scott and Cannizzaro are currently tied for points.
Yeah, that's going to be wild.
So we'll see if in the long run Scott had the correct
21.001 inside.
strategy.
Still there. Clear inside. The car behind is closing on you. The gap is 8.
Dumas is much faster, so I just let him go.
Yeah, he's got some very new tires. You can really see that in those turns.
21.387.
It looks like Cannizzaro is, at least for the moment, not going to pit.
All right, so leaders have 30 to go.
20.913.
You have 31. Well, ish.
About to be 28, but you know, because I'll be lapped. And
21.026.
Oh, hopefully not. You're
losing
you're
on the
keeping your
current front.
distance.
The gap is 2 seconds.
oh boy, too much gas.
21.026.
We're still
Okay,
fighting
you-
it.
You were keeping your distance.
Slow car down low.
Senior heads down pit road.
So DeBarro has caught up to Cannizzaro
21.155.
and now needs to lap him and then do it again in 25 laps.
.099.
Okay, Cannizzaro can't really do much. DeBarro flies by, putting him back on the lead lap. And now he has to do it all again with 25 to go.
21.
That's gonna be the race right there.
Yeah, well, Scott's got about 11-ish, 11 and a half to catch up to Cannizzaro. So the question's going to become, how are Cannizzaro's tires doing with 25 to go? And if I'm not mistaken,
21.08.
the last time he
probably
pit
hot and toasty.
was 61 laps ago. So if he is able to hold on, he will have the oldest set of tires on the track. I mean, currently he already has the oldest set of tires on the track. But the question is can he hold on with those tires? Because he's not going to be able to pit now and retain, because Scott will fly past him. So he has to commit.
Inside. Clear
As
inside.
we
The leader is
watch him
coming up
just-
on you. They're not at fight.
Yeah, I overdrove.
Fly by you.
974.
My tires are not happy right now.
Yeah. Well, you're on 52 lap tires, so you're not too much better than Cannizzaro.
That just shows his skill versus mine.
21.141.
Let's see what the lap times are looking like between Scott and Cannizzaro. Looks like Scott is catching up.
21.287.
He's catching up slowly. We'll see if Scott starts putting it into a higher gear here, or if he does that thing he does where he just, it's his race line and he's just going to let it go.
21.119.
Something tells me in about 5 or 6 laps, Cannizzaro is going to have a hard fall off.
If his tires are anything like mine, yep.
Well, his are 11 laps. Sorry, yeah, 11 laps older than yours.
21.233.
Yeah, that tracks.
Inside.
Nope.
Yeah, you're not this lucky that time, Bob. Sorry. Mine's one for you.
Inside. That car is a lap
Yeah.
down. Clear inside.
Trying
you
to
are
get out
now
of your
2
way and I
behind.
just snagged the wall, so.
Get out of the way, that's-
22.474.
All right, Scott out of the double digits for time to catch up. Now 9.2 seconds behind Cannizzaro. DeBarro has been making up time, though I don't think it's going to be quick enough. He's got about 16 and a half seconds to catch up. So I think this really is going to come down to Scott and Cannizzaro. If Scott could get his pace up just a little bit faster. Or if Cannizzaro slows down a little bit more.
21.256.
Go inside.
Inside. Clear.
So Scott, if this stays,
21.395.
will have a little bit more to contend with, as it looks like Cannizzaro
Inside.
has Cannizzaro Senior behind him.
Still
So
there.
he has
Hold your line.
a little bit of
Inside.
a buffer that he's able to
Clear inside.
maybe a hired gun, if you will,
Yeah.
to run blocks.
22.071.
All right, I have a 9-second gap over Ace.
Mhm.
Hopefully I can hold him off for 11 laps.
21.486.
I believe in you. Adam Stewart. Sorry I didn't make it tonight. I have kidney stones.
Gap is
But I
8.5
just can't get
seconds.
in the seat. I had one of those. Not a fan.
Ooh, yeah.
It wasn't a good time. So hopefully you're feeling better.
Car ahead.
Or
Oh,
Flag is
yellow.
out. They want
Uh-oh,
vehicles
that's
single
DeBarro.
file. Pit road is closed.
looks like DeBarro and Stevens again. That's the second time tonight that those two got into each other.
Two tires not a good call there.
22 car.
Well, let's go down.
Back to the Moisey.
Let's go down and get ourselves some free tires then, eh?
Yeah, I'm
Pit
sure.
road's open.
Let's see what happened. I finally get to use the instant replay on my end, Bob.
Hey.
Oh man, I think he's just spun out. Yeah, it looks like he entered a little hot. He started a spin,
One. Right here.
and
Got 10 laps to go.
Stevens
All the
just
damage is repairable.
wrong guy on the and just T-boned him. That being said, it was just a T-bone, so his tires look to be okay.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, so he kind of spun himself out there. and unfortunately, where he stopped was dead center of the track, and Stevens was the next guy to enter the turn.
You only have one tyre set remaining. Line up, single file. Catch up, 99. Sharp.
And that is interesting.
Catch up, 27. Sharp.
Oh man, that's not fair. I was hoping to be able to say I beat DeBarro in a race.
Catch up, 27. Sharp.
I don't know. I think
One
Barrow
lap
is
to
still,
green. You're on the outside this time.
Oh, he's in
Catch
front of you.
99.
I'll take the
Sharp.
top, Bill.
Hang on, we're not going green. Not going green. Hang on, we're not going green. Not going green.
That's on me, guys. I gave Johnson bad advice there. Just to set him one lap. He was the lucky. I screwed him. It was my fault.
And so, with 6 to go, everyone's got new tires. Cannonzaro and Scott are going to be neck and neck,
One lap to green.
with Dumas right behind them, and Gaston, who they have been putting on. They've been getting great laps this entire race, so it's anybody's race now. I don't know, when are we gonna go green? Four to
Going
go.
green, yeah, with 4 to go.
So it's just gonna be a shootout.
Get ready. Going green.
Oh boy. Prepare to die.
You just got the damage fixed.
Green flag. Green flag.
All right, away we go. Cannonzaro with a great start. Scott answers in kind.
38.786.
And let's see what happens. You can see the jump that they got. Dumas immediately almost 3 seconds behind. And these are the number 1 and number 2 racers in the league currently. So they literally have everything to race for with 3 to go.
Yeah, and look at them right on each other's bumpers.
Oh, they are.
19.905. The car in P2.
The relatives.
Oh, Scott to the inside.
19.6.
Yep, Scott's trying to peek in. Cannonzaro playing defense, trying to hold that line. Final lap.
Of course, it's being
Scott
blocked by
dives
my
in
A
again.
pillar, so I can't even see.
Scott diving in again and had to slow down because he almost crashed. And with that, Cannonzaro takes
Good
the
win, good race, guys. That
flag.
was fun with the varying strategy.
Damn, that was awesome.
Gaston snuck into third there above Dumas.
Yeah, good stuff.
Nice run.
Do it one more time next week, fellas. Thank you to everyone for a clean race.
What a race! What an ending there.
That was awesome.
Okay, the race is over. Bring it on in.
Had to give the 77 a little cheers there.
Little love tap.
Oh man, that was fun. Oh man, all right, well.
Man, that is a finish. What is with this league? I got notes, I got questions, and I just gotta rip it up. I gotta try again. Just gotta
All right,
start
rip them
over.
out, throw them all over again. But yeah, that was a good time. Definitely had fun. I will gladly take a 6th place finish.
Mm-hmm.
But Cannonzaro gets the win. Philip Scott in 2nd. Jonathan Gaston comes home 3rd. And we'll see if we can pull some folks into the interview waiting room. Monster burnout there for the 77.
Yeah, I mean,
It's still going.
With cause. He is currently sitting number one, and just solidified that to now it's going to end up to the last race. We'll see what happens.
If he's able to burn it down the entire way around the track,
I'll be impressed.
oh, I think his engine gave up first.
Hmm. Yep. He almost got there.
Almost. Man. But let's jump in and get our post-race interviews started. Joe, I believe you've caught up with our third place finisher, Jonathan Gaston.
Hey, Jonathan, congratulations on a podium finish. A late yellow comes out. What's going through your mind?
Luck. I haven't had any luck the past 3 weeks. I don't know what black cat I kicked underneath the ladder, broken mirror, but yeah, when that came out, and then I got the wave around, and then I got some bad advice, and then they had to extend the caution because I was told wrong. But yeah, I feel very lucky and fortunate, and I think this is my first podium ever with this group.
It might be. How'd you feel about your performance tonight otherwise?
Actually, I was surprised how well I was able to keep up. The strategy definitely got me off air a little bit. I kept hoping for a caution, so I kept staying out. That got me a little bit behind, but with absolutely zero practice, I logged in 5 minutes before the server. Yeah, I'm not going to complain.
That's very fair. Well, with your first podium finish comes your first set of shoutouts.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to my wife. She lets me do this, and she supports me and allows me to be a big kid. I want to shout out to a family. We had our coworker pass away. His family's really had it rough. I had granddaughters in my class. It was their grandfather, and I just want them to know I'm thinking about them. And I just want to shout out to, his name's Danny McConnell, and he was a long-term sub with us, and he was a football coach and retired teacher, and he was a really good man and really good family. And I just want to get a shout out to them.
Awesome. Well, congrats again, and hopefully we'll be talking to you next week.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to find that lucky rabbit's foot again and put it inside the car. We'll see how it goes.
All right, there we go. That is our third place finisher, Jonathan Gaston, and well, Joe, we'll bring in John Cannizzaro Jr. in. I think you already set up some questions for John. I'm assuming, at least.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
But we're both down here in Victory Lane with the winner for tonight's race, John Cannizzaro Jr. And well, John, talk us through the race, because that was certainly something to watch from my point of view, but from the broadcast point of view that Joe was able to see, looked like a pretty good time.
Well, it's a race that could have went a lot of different ways, but you start a race with a 25-point penalty and you kind of bite your tongue, and you got to be professional about it. It's not real racing, but it is still racing at the end of the day. So felt like I had a little bit of a point to prove, and with a chip on my shoulder, but that's all I can say about that. I had fun racing with you, joking around with you over the voice chat, something I don't usually get to do. And I definitely wasn't the fastest car. I'll definitely give Anthony that. He drove away from me on that first one. I couldn't get the rear tires underneath of me to save my life. And I don't know what happened with him in the lap car, and I just came off the corner, and he's in the infield. Great! It's like a miracle opened up. So just that second run, I decided that, Phil pit really early. DeBarro had to pit. He didn't really have a choice. So I just said, I'll run it as far as I can, take as little gas as I can, and just run this thing to the end. I would have won that race regardless if the caution didn't come out. I don't think Philip was even going to get near me. I think his tires were too gone, and I had plenty of fuel to get to the end, and I was running pretty good lap time. So just happy that for once in my life, I proved I can run a long run. I can fuel save. I can tire save. I'm not completely washed up yet. And the car was untouched. Senior's car was untouched. It's a great day in this household.
Absolutely. I was looking, I thought maybe Scott would be able to catch up on you on that second stint. I noticed that you didn't pit. You basically went with a one pit strategy. I was like, I don't know if he's going to be able to catch him or not. And then that yellow comes out. You're able to get, a fresh everything. So in your mind, no matter what, you were winning that race.
Not really. Philip was definitely faster on that short run. I'm holding on to the belts as if it was my life on the line there. I had that field cleared on that second run, and he wasn't catching me at all. I knew as long as I didn't get it in my head that he was catching me, that his tires would fall off eventually, I knew I was probably fine. So I was right. Just unfortunately, I had to do it the hard way on the restart. So,
Yeah,
man, I've had a weird first 2 days of June. I got in my first ever real life car accident yesterday. I got rear-ended in my VW. That thing was made of cement. And today I win a race. I mean, you can't have it 2 different days.
that's the ups and the downs, right? Well, as is tradition with you this season, I'm sure you got some shout outs for us.
Let's see, where do I start at this point? I got to thank Bob for coming and racing with us. It's always fun having him on the racetrack, and we get to crack jokes while we're driving around him sometimes, or trying to get into him sometimes for fun. But I guess he doesn't really like that too much. Philip and all of the guys that run the league and everything. They, I guess, when you put it in retrospect, they went a little light on me for this week and 2 weeks ago. So got to give them the shout for, being professional about everything, and, DeBarro being professional about everything. So it's just, that whole scenario's it'll be fresh next season. We'll be done with it. And, Tyler, he paints all my cars. It's probably one of my favorite cars I've ever ran. I love a Unical a lot. Just my father, he almost killed me when DeBarro was sideways in the racetrack. He almost drove it right up the back of me. Oh, I'm kind of ranting, but just it's always fun racing at TNR, even if there's a little bit of drama and stuff. It's always a fun race from every perspective.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, and congrats again. And we'll be talking to you hopefully next week. I guess regardless, as I think at this point you have to have a top 3 finish. So with that, good luck next week.
And let's hope.
All right, that's John Cannizzaro Jr., our winner here for tonight. I'm actually now joined by our second place finisher, driver of the number 99 machine, Philip Scott. And Philip, congrats there on the P2 finish. It was a fun race just to try to figure out the differing tire strategies. Yeah. Going in, did you kind of think, all right, I'm going to 2-stop this. I don't think anyone else is going to, and you're going to try to do what everyone else wasn't, or what was the plan there?
My plan was to do 1-stop, but I couldn't get around John, and I realized my tires were like bad. Or it's funny, percentage-wise they weren't bad; they're like 80s, whatever. But it felt like I was bleeding lap time, and I felt like the amount of time if I split it 50-100, that it would that would balance itself out. And so I just banked on it, and ended up paying off. But John actually did a really good job of saving his stuff there, so I didn't quite get back to him before the yellow. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely a fun one to watch there. And talk us through your strategy during the restart there. Four lap shootout to the finish. Just both had equal tires there, both pit on lap 142. What are your thoughts there for for that fight, because you almost got him there at the end?
I know. He all I wanted to do really was just I didn't want to. I was gonna try to win if I could, but I didn't want to. I knew it was going to be very hard to pass him, and I didn't want to ruin our days. But I knew I had to just keep on diving in there. I knew he was going to stay like in the middle, keep that momentum going. So I just had to try to dive it in and rotate. And then I got a little sideways off of the exit at 2 on the last lap, and I knew that was it at that point. So then I just tried to dive it in for no reason, and then I knew I wasn't going to get to him. But yeah, so that was kind of just surrendering. But yeah, it was a tough fight, and honestly, like, I mean, P2 is where I would have ended up if it stayed green anyway, unless John ran out of fuel. But yeah, it was kind of disappointing to not because it's just so close. But I mean, only 5 points separate us, so that's a pole, that's a fastest lap, or not fast, led the most laps, that's laps led, that's one position on track. So, and I know that if we tied, I'm pretty sure he would have it because he has more wins. So all I got to do is just, I know what I have to do, and that's lead the most laps and win, pretty much is what I know to guarantee myself it. But it's gonna be close.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one coming up next week. Last race there at Homestead of the season. Before we let you go, Philip, do you have any shout-outs for us?
Not particularly. But shout-outs to everybody for keeping it green for so long today. That was a crazy fun run at a really short track with big fall off, and for cars that are this tough to drive and on a hot, slick, short track, I think everybody did a really good job.
Awesome. Well, Philip, congrats again on the second place finish, and hoping to chat with you next week after the season finale.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. That's Philip Scott, our second place finisher here tonight. And Joe, let's take a look here at the final standings for tonight's race. Getting the win is John Canizaro Jr. Philip Scott there comes home second. Jonathan Gaston with a great run comes home third. Jamar Dumas comes home fourth. Last car on the lead lap. Ace House comes home in fifth. I finish in sixth. Anthony DeBarro falls back to seventh after getting into it with the 89 there in the closing laps. Jason Schue comes home eighth. John Canizaro Sr. in ninth. Ross Stevens 10th. And then Garrett Gleason finishes out the field here in 11th. As we mentioned before, next week is the season finale at Homestead Miami Speedway. That is going to be a ton of fun, so make sure you tune in right here on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network, both on Twitch and on YouTube. We'll be going live next Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. So for one final time, I'm Bob.
I'm Joe.
And this has been Total Nonstop Racing live at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Have a great night.